All
Let's
right.
move on. Let's
Well,
talk about
yeah.
yeah. We didn't talk about Boston that much, but Jason Tatum delivered at 51 in this game. A lot of people were doubting him with his inconsistent play. He still has inconsistent play, but he showed up the last two games when they needed him, especially in the fourth quarter into Game 6, and in this game he had 51. 51 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. So yeah. Now
Yeah, he
yeah, let's
really
get let's
delivered.
get to the Eastern Conference Finals preview now. It's gonna be Miami versus Boston, rematch of the bubble.
Yeah. Both
Yeah, both rematches of
conference
the bubble.
finals are bubble rematches. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Um, are you expecting a different result here? Because last time we had Miami winning, I'm pretty sure you got. I don't think you see that happening again this time around.
Yeah, I don't see Miami winning. If Boston plays the full capability, I think they'll pull away Miami in 5. To be honest, if they play the full capability, if they don't play the full capability, then that's when it gets scary. Maybe it can be 6 or 7. But I'm for sure. I think Boston's gonna win the series. I don't. I just can't see Miami's. I don't think Miami's team is good enough.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I had Miami as my sleeper team, and they've done me pretty good so far. They've done me pretty good so far. I honestly didn't expect them to make this far, to be honest with you. Especially after I saw they were gonna be playing the Bucks in the first round. But yeah, I'm gonna have to keep rolling with Miami. They haven't disappointed me up until this point. Honestly, I think Boston is a better team, but they have shown it. They showed it a lot in the first series. They have a tendency to play down to their competition sometimes. And I don't know, if you get Boston, if you get the same Boston that came in game 6 and 7 for these past two games against Philadelphia, I think they should probably put away Miami pretty quickly. But they've shown it in the past. They tend to let their opponents into the series. And Miami at home is undefeated still. I don't think they've lost yet at home. So, yeah, I think they could take this out to like 6 or 7. And I don't know, bro. Playoff Jimmy comes through. We might be seeing the Heat in the finals once again, this time as an 8 seed. So, I'm going to continue to ride with them. Pretty unexpected to see them make it this far, but let's see how far they could go.
Yeah, talk more about Boston a little bit. I think Robert Williams and Al Horford are gonna give Bam Adebayo a problem because Bam really can't do anything else other than mid range. Really, Robert
Yeah,
Williams. Robert Williams will give him problems in the paint, and Al Horford too. Even that mid range game, he did it to Embiid. Embiid likes to shoot a lot of mid range. He gave him trouble.
yeah,
And Bam Adebayo is nowhere close to even being as good of a mid range shooter as Embiid. So I think the only problem, yeah, it's basically just Jimmy Butler. But
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, so from Boston, I'm just throwing Derek White, Jason Tatum, and Jalen Brown at him the whole game. Okay, I'm gonna try to let everybody else beat me except for Jimmy Butler, because I don't think anybody else can beat him other than Jimmy Butler. Because I'm gonna be real here. Max Strus ain't gonna fucking do anything more than likely. He ain't gonna be consistent at least.
Yeah,
At least. Caleb Martin can get you some threes, but there's really nobody else that's gonna take over this game. Cause Kyle Lowry's not the same player anymore. Oladipo's gone, and Tyler Hero's not gonna play the series either. So
yeah,
it would probably be different if Tyler Hero was playing. Give you some more capability in scoring on the wing, more consistent scoring. Because Caleb Martin and Max Strus, they give you the scoring, but they're not as consistent as Tyler Hero is. So that's probably gonna be a problem. And Miami, uh, this Miami team shouldn't really be a problem for Boston. They shouldn't really be a problem, but like you said, Boston plays down to their level sometimes. So if Boston just plays like they're supposed to, then this should probably be a wrap. But like you said, yeah, it could be serious. I could see this being interesting just because of the way Boston plays. But I don't know if Boston's gonna mess with Miami because
yeah,
they almost lost to Philadelphia. Which they probably should have put Philadelphia away like in 5 or 6, if we were being real. Like
yeah.
they should
They should have
have.
swept Atlanta too.
Yeah, They should have probably swept Atlanta, and they should probably put away Philly in 5 or 6. Because game 1 against Philly, they should have won. They should have won that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just depends on how Boston plays the series. If Boston plays their full capability, yeah, it's probably a 5-game series. If they let Miami stay in this, yeah, I could see it. I could see it them upsetting. I'm just worried about Miami because in that New York Knicks series, the last few games they really weren't playing that good. It was just New York shooting
It
themselves.
was just New York being terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
So I don't know how much gas the rest of this roster has in Miami. I know Jimmy Butler probably has some gas left, but I don't know how much the rest of this roster has. Because I don't know how much you can rely on Caleb Martin and Max just shooting so good. That meantime.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They get hot when they're there in Miami. For some reason, they could get pretty hot when they're down there in Miami. And I tell you, got playoff Jimmy too. If he comes out swinging the way he did against Milwaukee, you see, he didn't really need to come out like at that force against New York. The rest of the team, well, actually, I mean, the rest of the team was able to get it done, but New York was just so terrible that Jimmy didn't really need to go that crazy like how he did in the Bucks. But I tell you, if you get Jimmy Butler like how he was in the Bucks series, it could cause some problems for them. And Jason Tatum, he's shown it before. Although he did show out in these past 2 games where the Celtics won, there's games where he doesn't really do too much. And Jaylen Brown is the main guy there. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think it's gonna be a real challenge to see who the better player is between Jason Tatum and Jimmy Butler. We've seen some debates lately of like, oh, who's the best player right now between Tatum and Butler. I think like regular season, obviously it's Tatum, but then once we get into the postseason, Jimmy Butler takes his game to a whole nother level, and then it becomes a real debate on who you would rather have between Tatum and Butler once you get to the playoffs. So this series right here should really settle the debate once and for all. It's 1-1 right now. Jimmy and the Heat took one in the bubble, and then last year, as a 1 seed, they lost to Boston in the conference finals again last year. The Celtics took that one, so it's 1-1 right now. It's gonna be the third game, or the third Eastern Conference series in the past 4 years between the Celtics and the Heat. So we're gonna see how this one goes.
Is it? Yeah, past 4 years, yeah. What is it called, though? Well, I'm just worried about this Miami's depth because, like, Malcolm Brogdon's better than everybody else in Miami except for Butler and Bam. Derek White's better than everybody other than Butler and Bam. Even if Marcus Smart, too. So I don't know. That's the only problem I have with him. Like, Jimmy Butler can do whatever he wants. So, like, Jimmy Butler can have, like, 40 series, but if his team doesn't play anything good, then they're just done. Because Jaylen Brown is better than Bam. And you could argue between Tatum and Brown. Yeah, that's an argument. But Brown's better than Bam.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'd say Boston, don't get me wrong, bro. Boston does have the much more talented roster. Boston, if you just look at it on paper, Boston should walk through Miami, if I'm being honest. If you look at it on paper. But there's some outside factors, too. I'll tell you, Miami being undefeated at home. When they get to South Beach, bro, we saw it against Milwaukee. Like, you have some random players popping off. Like, there's that one game Max Strus popped off out of nowhere. And Caleb Martin. So, I'll tell you, bro, you get production out of players that you wouldn't even expect. And that you don't really account for stuff like that. So, that could possibly end up happening in this series again. Like you said, maybe they ran out of gas. So, maybe they ran out of gas these past 2 series. But you can never count out the Heat, bro. I think we've been counting out the Heat ever since the first round, if I'm being honest. Everybody thought Milwaukee was going to run through them. And they've been proving everybody wrong ever since the first round. So, see if they can keep it up.